This ancient symbol has puzzled civilizations for thousands of years. A snake eating its own tail, hiding secrets most people never notice. What does it really mean? Let's uncover it. Known as the Ouroboros, this symbol has appeared in Egypt, Greece, Norse mythology, and alchemy. It represents cycles, eternity, and hidden knowledge. But there's more than meets the eye. To trace the origins of a symbol as profound as the Ouroboros is, to follow a thread woven through the very fabric of human consciousness. It's a journey that takes us back thousands of years, to a time when myth and reality were deeply intertwined. Our story begins not just with a simple drawing, but with a powerful concept taking form in one of the world's most magnificent ancient civilizations. We begin in the sands of ancient Egypt. The earliest definitive records of the Ouroboros emerge from the funerary texts of the New Kingdom over 3,000 years ago. One of the most striking examples was discovered within the tomb of Tutankhamun, inscribed in a text known as the Enigmatic Book of the Netherworld. Here, the symbol wasn't merely decorative, it was functional, it was divine. In Egyptian cosmology, the sun god Ra undertook a perilous journey each night, sailing his solar bark through the treacherous underworld. The Ouroboros was depicted encircling and protecting him, a divine guardian against the forces of chaos that lurked in the darkness. This nightly journey was a powerful metaphor. The serpent consuming its own tail represented the cyclical nature of time and the universe itself. It symbolized the constant process of destruction and recreation, the very engine of existence. Just as the serpent sheds its skin to be reborn, the sun had to die each evening and pass through the underworld to be reborn at dawn. The Ouroboros was the visual embodiment of this eternal promise, that every ending is intrinsically linked to a new beginning. It was a symbol of cosmic order, of the sun's triumphant return, and the perpetual cycle of life, death, and crucially, rebirth. But symbols, especially powerful ones, rarely stay in one place. Through the bustling trade routes and intellectual currents of the ancient Mediterranean, the Ouroboros traveled. It found a new, fertile ground for its meaning to evolve in the minds of the ancient Greeks. While the Egyptians saw the symbol through a lens of cosmic divinity and solar cycles, the Greeks, with their burgeoning focus on logic and philosophy, began to interpret it in a more abstract, metaphysical way. Greek philosophers, fascinated by the concepts of eternity and the fundamental nature of the cosmos, adopted the Ouroboros as a perfect emblem for their ideas. They saw in the self-consuming serpent a representation of the eternal, unchanging whole. It was the idea that nothing is ever truly lost, only transformed. It came to symbolize the concept of infinity and the cyclical nature of a universe that is continually recreating itself from its own substance. For thinkers wrestling with the paradoxes of existence, the Ouroboros was a perfect visual metaphor for unity in duality, the beginning that is also the end, the creation born from destruction. It was a shift from a divine narrative to a philosophical principle, from a divine protector in an Egyptian tomb to a philosophical concept in a Greek academy. The journey of the Ouroboros was just beginning. But how did two distinct cultures, separated by sea and centuries, find such profound, yet different meaning in the same image of a serpent eating its tail? Why do you think civilizations thousands of miles apart used the same symbol? Hold that thought. In alchemy, the Ouroboros symbolized the cyclical nature of transformation, death leading to rebirth, destruction leading to creation. Alchemists believed it represented the unity of all things, a visual mantra for achieving perfection. Imagine a symbol that could represent everything in the universe. Intriguing, right? Norse mythology featured the world serpent Jormungandr encircling the earth, a striking mirror of the Ouroboros. In modern psychology, Carl Jung called it a symbol of self-reflection and the unconscious, representing how endings become beginnings. Could this symbol actually describe your own life cycles? From the dusty scrolls of antiquity, the Ouroboros has slithered into the fabric of our modern world, proving its own principle of eternal return. Today, this ancient symbol is more pervasive than ever, adopted and adapted by contemporary culture. It finds new life in art, branding, entertainment, and even as a permanent mark on our skin. While its interpretations have evolved, the core idea of eternal cycles and profound rebirth remains unshaken. In branding, the Ouroboros is a designer's dream. Companies striving to project longevity, sustainability, or continuous innovation find a perfect partner in this symbol. A tech firm might use a sleek, stylized Ouroboros to signify endless cycles of development. A wellness brand could adopt it to represent holistic health and perpetual renewal. It's a visual shorthand for stability and self-reliance, a powerful message in today's competitive market. The symbol's narrative power hasn't been lost on Hollywood. In film, television, and video games, the Ouroboros is often the key to unlocking a complex plot. It's the quintessential symbol for time loop narratives, where protagonists are doomed to repeat the same day until they can break the cycle. It appears as the insignia of shadowy secret societies, hinting at their ancient origins and unending influence. In science fiction, it can represent the cyclical nature of the universe itself. It's a powerful visual cue that tells the audience to expect themes of destiny, paradox, and the inescapable nature of the past. Contemporary artists also continue to grapple with the Ouroboros, reinterpreting it through modern lenses. They use it to explore themes of environmentalism, commenting on the planet's delicate, closed ecosystems and the cycles of consumption and waste. It becomes a metaphor for psychological loops of anxiety or obsession, or a symbol of creative self-consumption, where an artist's life and work are inextricably linked. Perhaps its most personal modern application is in the art of tattooing. For many, to ink the Ouroboros onto their body is a profound personal statement. It can signify a significant life change, the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. It can represent a commitment to personal growth, an acknowledgement that one is always in a state of becoming, shedding old skin to emerge anew. It's a permanent mark of an internal philosophy, a wearable emblem of one's own journey through the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. From pop culture to personal journeys, its influence is everywhere, often hiding in plain sight. It has become so integrated into our visual language that it has influenced other symbols, like the mathematical sign for infinity, which shares its concept of endlessness. Take a closer look next time you're watching a movie, browsing company logos, or admiring a piece of art. The serpent eating its own tail might just be hiding there, a silent testament to the timeless cycles that govern us all. To truly appreciate the Ouroboros, we must look beyond its circular shape and dissect its powerful components. It's a profound philosophical map disguised as a simple image. The symbol is not just a snake eating its tail, it is a dynamic interplay of three distinct, yet inseparable, symbolic elements: the head, the tail, and the unbroken circle they form. Each part tells a piece of a grand universal story, a story about the very nature of existence. Let's delve into this anatomy of the infinite. First, consider the tail. The tail represents the past, the end, and the concept of death. It is everything that has already been, the sum of all conclusions. As it enters the mouth, it is being relinquished, consumed, and broken down. This isn't a violent or tragic end, but a necessary and willing sacrifice. The tail symbolizes the old self, outdated ideas, and finished chapters of life that must be let go to make way for something new. It is the embodiment of entropy and decay, the inevitable dissolution that precedes any form of renewal. It teaches us that every ending is not just a conclusion, but also the raw material for a new beginning. Now let's turn to the head. The head is the agent of creation, the devouring mouth that initiates transformation. It represents the present moment, the point of active change and rebirth. By consuming the tail, the head isn't just destroying, it is assimilating, integrating, and transmuting the past into the future. It is the driving force of the cycle, the power that ensures the process never stagnates. The head symbolizes consciousness and volition, the ability to actively engage with the past and forge it into a new reality. It is the alchemical furnace where the old is reborn, signifying that creation is not an act that happens in a vacuum, but one that is perpetually fueled by the act of letting go. Finally, we have the circle itself, the perfect, unbroken loop formed by the serpent's body. This is perhaps the most universal symbol of all, representing totality, wholeness, and infinity. The circle has no beginning and no end, perfectly encapsulating the concept of eternity and the cyclical nature of time and the cosmos. It is the container that holds both creation and destruction in a perfect, harmonious balance. The circular form tells us that life and death are not opposing forces, but two faces of the same unified process. It is the ultimate symbol of unity, reminding us that all things are interconnected in a single, continuous, and self-sustaining loop of existence. For centuries, this elegant trinity of meanings has captivated the human imagination. Philosophers saw in it the eternal recurrence of cosmic and moral cycles. Mystics viewed it as the union of the heavenly and the earthly, the spiritual and the material. Artists have drawn upon its imagery to express the profound truth that every ending is simply the spark of a new beginning, a constant, beautiful rhythm of loss and renewal. The Ouroboros invites us to see our own lives not as a linear path with a final destination, but as a series of these cycles. It asks us to honor our endings, to actively create our present, and to trust in the wholeness of our journey. What cycles in your own life could the Ouroboros be reflecting? Where can you see an old part of yourself being consumed to make way for the new? Pause and think about that. From ancient Egypt to modern pop culture, the Ouroboros reminds us, life is a cycle, and every ending is a new beginning. If you want to uncover more ancient symbols and their secrets, hit like and subscribe to Behind the Symbol.